One. And we're live.
And we're live. Thank you again for tuning back with us on Thought Process Episode 2. This one is called the ReTake because we actually had to retake this episode. We taped yesterday, and for some reason, we didn't see that we weren't streaming. After an hour and a half of having a conversation. So here we are again. This is attempt number 2, and for this episode, we want to share a little bit more about ourselves. So we're gonna be asking some questions that we found on the internet. So Greg, if you can pull that up and see if you can tell us what website it is.
We're just using a random question so that we have to come up with answers right away.
And this is basically to break the ice between us and you. So the website's called conversationstarters.com. So for some people who are bad at starting conversations and don't know how to break the ice, this website will probably help you in your endeavor to start conversations.
Yep.
So
here, we'll start the first one.
The first question, and this one's for Greg, is do you believe in the afterlife?
Do you believe in a afterlife? I do believe in an afterlife. I don't know what it's going to be, obviously, because there's no way to tell what it's going to be. It could just be like you're falling asleep and you're dreaming forever. Or it could be someplace. Or
but do you believe,
because you're dreaming, you think you're in someplace.
But do you believe that there is an afterlife? That it is, in fact, not just black?
Yeah, I don't think it stops. I think it'll be different.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Can you elaborate on how it would be different?
No, I would have no clue. Like I said, it would be like sleeping. It would be like a dream. So like it could be bad, like you have bad dreams, or it could be good, like you have good dreams. Like you could sometimes be dreaming that you forgot to wear your pants when going to school, or other times you could be dreaming that you are eating endless Krispy Kreme donuts. So it may be good and bad forever.
Right.
Which is kind of the same concept as life already.
That it's bad and good at the same time?
Yeah.
It's the chaos and order. It's what Dr. Peterson talks about in his 12 Rules for Life and Maps of Meaning book.
And I don't see how it's any different. Like, if you believe in, like, God and the devil, there's good and bad on the afterlife.
Yeah.
So there's always good and bad.
Yeah, this is a tough question, to be honest, because if you claim to know something, this deep, I think you're full of shit. I don't think anybody knows. I think there's a lot of speculation and a lot of debates, particularly with scientific and religious debates, right? Ideas. But this one, for me, I don't have a clear answer for this one because I don't know. Once you check out from here, is it just going to be black and it's not going to be anything? That's one of the ideas that I've heard, and I don't know. That's scientifically, I think that's what would happen.
What?
But religiously, I don't know. Like spiritually, talking in a spiritual sense, I honestly don't know.
Think about this. Some nights you don't dream, so it's just black. Some nights you dream good. Sometimes it's black. Sometimes it's terrible. Maybe we're just in an endless dream.
Right now? So, actually, now that we're on the subject, Greg, I did want to talk to you about something. I didn't mention this off the air. Yesterday, I came to the realization that we are not in a program, but we are in a simulation. And the simulation is basically the idea that there are forces that we're reacting to, and it's this big simulation of live programs working together.
I don't know about that, because the simulation means that it's
To simulate
fake
something.
things. It's not actually happening.
Right. So I don't know if if you've ever where you see our political climate right now.
Okay.
Okay. That to me is a lot of acting. Like you take a step back and you take a look at the way the the big political people are out there, the way they're talking. It's a lot of acting. And politicians, it's a lot of acting. That's what they do.
Mm-hmm.
You see a lot of influence in like Hollywood, right? So I don't know, man. There's like commercials. You got people. You're watching commercials where these people's lives are perfect, and you're looking at Instagram, and everyone's putting on their best faces, but the reality is that it's not like that in real life. So yesterday I was just thinking about this, about, man, do we live in a program? No, I don't think we live in a program, but I think that there's something being simulated. Whether it's our culture, the way our culture is, it's simulating. Like what we're experiencing right now, it's a simulation.
I don't know about that. I would probably disagree.
You would disagree?
Yeah,
Okay, well, you had a good point yesterday that we didn't have a chance to record again because we messed up. But the point was basically you were talking about how Fabrice came to be.
To be.
Or to be. How Fabrice came to be,
Uh-huh.
right? And what sort of marketing tactic they were using.
Just, it's because it started off with no scent, but it was a very good cleaner. But they couldn't get people to consistently use it because there was no reason for them to believe it was clean. There's no indicator except for looking at it. But I mean, like, if we look at this table, we may consider it clean, but there's no way to actually tell. So they created this thing where you smell it. When you smell the smell, you think clean now. Plus, it gives you a beneficial change of smell in your house, where if you just clean this with something non-scented, there's no new smell.
Right.
So you're just sitting around in the smell.
And basically the idea, I think, well, we were talking about it yesterday, and the idea was that it's confirmation bias, right? That's what we were talking about. I told Greg that I used to be, well, I wasn't a firefighter. I was going to firefighting school, did all the classes and everything. And one of the things that the firefighters teach is how people, they don't necessarily react to fire alarms until they see smoke or until they see fire, right? And then that would be the confirmation bias. They would then see that there is indeed fire, and then they would panic. Whereas if they didn't see smoke or they didn't see any fire, it was, people would probably still take the elevator, and you're not supposed to. They do silly things like that. So it's I guess it's a little bit of that confirmation bias, with Febreze. Like once you smell it, then you're like, oh, okay, well, there's something that's being cleaned. Like,
Yeah. Let's do another one.
But anyway, we're gonna move on to the other question. This one is,
what motivates you?
so for me personally, what's a big motivator? At the moment, I think is knowledge. Like I'm motivated to learn more. That's one of the things. Obviously, there's some animalistic and motivators in that are sometimes taking over. Some of that would be humor. Humor motivates me a lot. Like it makes me feel good. If I'm having a bad day, just even something funny, a meme or a text from a friend, anything like that. It's, I find that pretty motivating to get out of the slumps. I mean, that would be it. I mean, obviously, there's same things. There's money motivates people. I don't necessarily feel like money motivates me, but just a better lifestyle is a big motivator.
I've been listening a lot about motivation and how a lot of people talk about how motivation is not good. And sure, because motivation goes away. So if you see a picture of someone who is like physically fit, you're like, damn, that motivates you to go run, and then the next day you don't see the picture or a different picture or something to motivate you to do it again, and you're done.
Yeah.
But I still think you should use motivation when it comes, but don't quit with things that you do consistently. So like just because you go out and run that day doesn't mean that you need to stop doing other things that are beneficial to you. So like you'll go out on your run, you'll get sore, the next day you don't want to get up. You don't get up into your normal routine. So don't let things kind of motivate you, but
stop
take away at the same time
because you feel like you got up yesterday, you don't need to get up today. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a big one. Mm-hmm. A lot of people fall into that trap, including myself a lot. Sometimes, I'll wake up and I'm like very motivated to go to the gym, and then I'll be like crazy sore the next day. And you're right. Like sometimes I'm like, oh shit, like I'm not going to go to the gym again. So that's a big trap that a lot of people fall under.
A lot of motivation makes you do it wrong.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, I've heard that motivation is temporary, and it would be like the power of the habit, which is actually one of the books that we've been reading. This one is called The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People by Stephen Covey. That's a really good book. They teach you a lot of good habits that a lot of business people and entrepreneurs take under. So that was pretty good. I suggest you guys check it out. Let's see. So
move to the next one.
Yeah, let's continue doing some more questions so you guys can get to know us a little bit more. We can break this ice. This one is for Greg, and I'm gonna spice this one up a little bit. This one is, what is your favorite alcoholic drink?
You changed it up to
That's
alcoholic.
What I'm saying. Gotta spice it up.
I don't know. Long Island is probably where I go.
Long Island.
Mm-hmm.
It's
a cheap man's drink. Because you can have everything in it.
What does it have in it? In the Long Island?
It has 3 types of alcohol. I don't know exactly what they are.
There's a rum. Are there rums?
Oh, yeah. Is it 3 types of rum? Is that what it is? And
I'm not sure.
Sweet and sour. Is it sweet and sour? It's not sweet and sour. I don't even know what's in it anymore.
There's 3 different. I think there's 3 rums.
There's 3 alcohols, a sweetener, and then a splash of Coke.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I think they're okay. Personally, for me, if I were to have a drink, it'd be some scotch or whiskey. That would be my to-go. Yeah.
I'll have it, but I'm not like... I don't want to sip on stuff.
In a rainy, cold night, a scotch, if you're, at a party or something.
How many rainy, cold nights do we have here?
Well, we're actually located in Southern California, so not many.
Exactly.
But we will continue on with the questions. This one is, what is the first thing you do in the morning, Greg? Do you have a routine? What do you do in the morning typically?
I usually wake up and I check my phone just in case if I slept through some message about someone going to the doctors or something. And then right after that, I usually go and take a shower. And then after that, it just depends on what I'm doing with the day. Most of the time right now, it's either I'm going to go hike or I'm going to go and study. So outside of that, unless I have a specific like an appointment or something, then it's one of those two things.
So you just like getting up, getting in the shower, getting ready, and heading out?
Yeah.
Okay, so you don't really have like a stretching routine, anything like that?
No.
So I don't either, but I've been meaning to. Doing yoga. I think I need to start doing some yoga, get a little flexible. Because now it's funny because 10 years ago I would never think about doing yoga, and as you get older, you know, you feel like you can't move anymore, and things are tweaking. It's weird, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if you've experienced that.
I have it in my back. I've been sitting down a lot.
Yeah.
And I just like, I need to constantly crack my back. I just like, oh, that's better. But sometimes I use the foam rollers, and then I'm good.
Oh, the foam rollers are really good.
Those are fantastic. I have 2 different kinds. I have one that has like a bunch of knobs on it, so it's like deep tissue, and it hurts. If you go to the gym and you're sore, it hurts. If you just like sore from this, like sitting down a lot, it feels fine. And then I just have the flat one that most people use that you can use if you're sore or not.
Nice. Those make a big difference, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. Another thing that well, I do this. I wouldn't say I do it religiously, but I do it pretty often. I have some water, some sea salt, and some lime or lemon, and that one gives like a good pick me up in the morning. It doesn't only just hydrate you, but so when you're sleeping, you build a lot of acidity in your body, and putting in the lime helps, and the sodium replenishes all the sodium that you've lost. So you don't feel like groggy, hungover, lethargic. It's like a good pick-me-up in the morning.
Is it lime or lemon?
I think you can do both. It's just to replenish the acidity, like to kind of shock your body.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I did that for a while with lemon, and I felt it. Like I would drink it right before going to work, and it took me about half hour, 45 minutes to get there. When I got there, I was awake. And before that, I was just sleeping all the way there, and sleeping when I got there.
So you noticed the change?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
So you don't do that anymore?
No, I haven't done it because I don't have to wake up as early, so I usually have enough time to sleep, and I'm not just lethargic.
So you just wait. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I should probably do it more. I don't do it enough, but yeah, that's one of.
I used to just take it like a shot though. So like I would just put the salt in, a little bit of water, the lime, and just shoot it really quickly because it's not that great tasting.
Great.
It's not.
I know it's not, but you're supposed to drink a lot of water with it.
No, afterwards I'll just drink water because it's not really. I don't
see.
perceive there being a difference.
I see.
There could be, maybe.
I don't think so. So you just kind of take a shot of it.
Yeah, so
just
I put the salt in,
lime.
I put the water, lime, stir it up, shoot it, and then drink a whole glass of water. It's so much better because then you get rid of that salt flavor. Yeah. It's just like drinking the sea.
I also heard that reading in the morning or meditating is supposed to be really good.
You know, I tried that and it just, you were still a little tired. And meditating, usually you try to like calm yourself. So I get tired. I get a lot more tired. And so I was like, nah, I can't do that in the morning. And then I just never did it. Yeah.
Well, maybe I'm going to try it. I haven't done it, but I'm going to try it. And perhaps we can share with you guys, you know, the pros and cons of doing such things. So moving on to the next question. So you guys can, for those of you who are stopping by at this time, who are new.
This is a funny one.
Let's
see how this answers.
This is basically for you guys to get to know us a little bit more, and get a bit familiar with who we are. If we haven't already mentioned, my name is Marco.
My name is Greg.
This question over here is, what are some things that you should not say at a funeral?
There's a lot you shouldn't say, but there's...
Okay, has there been any time where you said anything at a funeral that you shouldn't have said?
Me, no. I usually don't talk at funerals, but I don't know. The funerals that I've gone to for like my grandpa or my friend, like people would say, like sorry for your loss, sorry for your loss. Everyone walking up to you saying the same thing. Like, what are you gonna say after so many times? Just like thank you, thank you, thank you. Stop saying it. Stop saying it. Like, it's, I don't know. You expect it from people, so you don't expect them to keep saying it. But I mean, if you don't, then at the same time you can get mad about it. So
yeah. Well, that's definitely a weird one, right?
Yeah.
I don't have an answer for this question because I've never said anything at all.
Well, like you have like, there's times where you talk to your friends and you're like, oh, I'm going to do this at your funeral. And then the other person's like, yeah, you should. It's kind of funny. But it's something you definitely shouldn't do. Like, I don't know, make something up. Put a sticker on your casket that says that I'm stupid. But you wouldn't do that because everyone else doesn't understand it. But to you and that person, it was funny and it was something that was going to be done.
So would you ever do that?
No.
You wouldn't do that?
Nope.
If you had this inside joke with a friend?
I did. And I did not put it on his casket.
What was it? Okay, so
I don't even want to say what it was because it's pretty bad. But I wasn't going to do it. It's just something we talked about.
Well, what was it that you were going to do?
I'm not going to talk about that.
Oh, come on, Greg. We're on air, man.
No, we'll go to the next one.
Greg didn't want to say what he was going to do.
How many email addresses do you have? I can't even remember. I had the greatest one in high school, though. You know, Sir Mix-a-Lot? I guess he had a website where you can create your email.
Yeah.
So it's at sirmixalot.com. So my email was yourmom@sirmixalot.com.
Nice.
So like it's in high school when the teachers needed your email for some reason, I had to give them that.
Dude, I think I had the same damn email.
And I used it all through high school. And one day they just shut down the site. There was no way to access the email anymore. And I lost so much stuff. Couldn't get into accounts for everything I've created. It was pretty bad.
Dude, I lost all my accounts. Actually, I had one that was your mom, something like numbers at, I think it was Hotmail or something like that, one of those old ones.
Yeah.
And I lost all my information as well with the MySpace. Remember MySpace?
I was on it the other day, actually.
Really?
Yeah, I was on it, and I was talking to one of my friends, and they were going through it to try to find a picture, and I was like, I better be on your top 10, or what was it, top 8?
The top 3. No, I don't know. I don't remember.
I think it was top 8.
That was so funny that
and
you
I was
told
number
other
4. I was so mad. I was like,
you told other people basically who your best friends were.
Yeah.
By you used to put them in numbers.
If you think about it, like MySpace, you gave out more information to random people than you did in Facebook. Facebook has more of your personal information, but random people coming to your page don't have as much.
Like what?
It's kind of interesting.
Like what would you put on MySpace that you wouldn't put on Facebook?
Like on MySpace, you know, your top 8 friends, your number 1 friend who's on there. What else was it? Oh, you put a lot of your actual like interests. Like you put your favorite music. You would say what were you doing. Pictures of. Essentially, some of them could be pictures of like where you lived in the background, things like that, because we didn't think about it back then. We were putting everything.
Right.
Like now that you're thinking about it, you hide some stuff. You may put a fake address, or you have a secondary email to sign up things with.
Yeah, that's so true. Because now, dude, have you seen how many scam calls have been happening?
Yeah. I don't pick my phone up if there's not a name on it.
At all?
Uh-uh.
Dude, I can't do that because of work. But
if they don't leave a message, it's not important. That's how I see it. Because if it's an appointment, they leave a message.
There's so many. Yeah, if it's an appointment, but I know so many people who don't leave messages.
Yeah. But that's my point. You know them, so you should have them saved on your phone.
No, like I know, like I've worked with a lot of people who give me calls, and they don't leave messages, and then 2 days later they're like, "Hey, I was calling you. I was calling you."
Oh, but see, you're talking about random people you don't normally consistently talk to, that you're expecting a phone call from, but you don't know exactly when. So that's different. If I'm expecting a phone call, I'll pick up calls until I get the call, and then I stop picking up phone calls again, because there's no reason to pick up a phone call if I'm not expecting it.
Well, there's some pros and some cons to that, but
I haven't run into a con yet.
no, maybe you missed
Because I don't pick up the phone.
Maybe the girl that you left your number for at the diner, she was trying to give you a call, Greg, and now you didn't pick up her call.
No, that's not it.
That's not it. Okay. Okay, so we're going to move on to the next question.
They would have left a message.
Yeah, right.
Like I said, people who think things are important will leave a message.
So, Greg, what was the last gift that you received?
I don't know. Probably underwear for my birthday.
Dude, that's
I don't know. I'm trying to think about my birthday. Oh, I got a package of Sharpies.
You got a package of Sharpies.
A package of Sharpies.
You do graffiti or what?
No. There's these canvas arts that are already drawn in, but it's like adult art, but on canvas. Mm-hmm. And so I use Sharpies to do the coloring, and I've been doing it. They take a while.
Are they like playbook comic books?
This one was, it's called like an enchanted forest or something like that.
Enchanted forest.
Yeah, there's like mushrooms all over. Like it's a very hippie thing. So I'm working on the background right now, and it's all like, it's tie-dyed colored with 4 colors. So
it's color coded. So you.
No, it doesn't tell you where to color.
You color it the way you
just do
think?
however you want. Yeah. So it's just a picture made of lines, and you just color in the spaces. So however you want.
If it's a tree, you can make it purple.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That sounds pretty interesting.
Yeah.
So why is that a new hobby that you have?
I just do it when I have nothing else to do. It's not something I do every day. Like it may be once a week, sometimes once a month, sometimes a couple times a day.
Now, has it helped you with anything?
It helped me a while ago when I had a lot of free time, and I just didn't have anything to do, and I was trying to figure some stuff out. So it gave me something to do instead of just sitting there getting angry about things.
I guess it would be a little bit like meditation, a little bit, huh? Just kind of get into zone coloring.
Maybe, but you're not really necessarily learning anything. You're more or less tuning things out. So
that's interesting. Well, what the heck was the last thing I received? The last thing I received must have been for Christmas. And I don't even remember what I got for Christmas. That's pretty bad.
Where'd you go for Christmas? That'll jog your memory.
Oh, okay. I believe I got a jacket. Maybe I'll wear it here.
Your family did that thing where you drew the names out of the hat, and
yeah,
what did you get for that?
It's a white elephant.
Yeah, so what did you get for that?
I got the jacket.
Oh, okay. There you go.
So I think it was a jacket. It's a pretty nice jacket.
Is it the one with the fuzz? No, that.
Yeah, it's what is it called? It's Sharpay.
Like pilot jacket.
Sharpay? No, Sharpay is a dog. I don't know.
Are you saying Sharpie, but like in a French accent? Sharpay.
No, I think it's called.
Is this like Target?
No, it's like sheep. It's like the sheep wool.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I think it's called Sharpay. I don't know if it's called Sharpay or not. But that was the last thing I received. It was pretty good. Very fashionable. So this one for Greg. What is your favorite hangout spot?
I mean, I don't hang out a lot, and I don't know, study spot, maybe a Starbucks.
Why do you choose Starbucks?
Because my friend works there, and I get free water. I'll put it that way.
Allegedly.
Hey, water is free.
That's cool. But any other reason why you go to Starbucks in particular?
My friend works there, so it's just one of the things that I can keep on a schedule for how I'm supposed to, in a sense, like take a break and get up and move around. So I kind of follow that consistency that she has with the schedule of going on a break and going on a lunch, so that I'm not just sitting there wasting time because I'm not able to focus anymore. So it helps me break things up.
Oh, interesting. That's pretty cool. Yeah.
And then I have human interaction. Because if I just sat at home trying to learn all day in my room on the computer, like, I'm not going to go out after. I usually, when I'm done with that, I go home for the day. But that gets me in a realm of other people, even if I don't talk to them.
Yeah. Interesting. It's very interesting. It's I don't really have a hangout spot, to be honest. I work a lot of hours. I guess it would be here. This is probably one of the coolest spots I've had.
So, all right, I'll give you that.
That's pretty good.
We just did that one.
If you could go back in time, change one thing, what would that be?
To think about it, it sounds kind of weird, but I'd go back to change my grades. I'm not going to say to be smart and to study and all that. To be good enough, just good enough. Because reasonably during that time, I didn't care. So I just want to be a little bit better so that I didn't get into as much trouble with my parents. Because it's not necessarily that they didn't let me do things, but they took things away that put me behind in certain circumstances. Like my brothers all got to drive at 16. Since I didn't pay attention in school, they didn't let me drive. When 18 came along, I was working, and I just was able to ride a bike or ride my skateboard and found no need for it. And so things like that I seem to have gotten later that do push you a little bit further. Like when we used to work together, I had to rely on you to get me a ride all the way over there because it was further away.
Oh, I do remember that. Yeah.
And so there were little things like that put you behind only because you don't know that it can help you in a way like that, where you can go further, find something that can benefit you that anything around you can't. Like a job. That's why so many people commute. If they didn't have a car, they can't commute. They can't have the job.
Dude, well, I used to commute from Santa Ana to Irvine on bicycle. When I first started that job you're talking about, that same job, I used to take the bike. Dude, it was like 4 hours. No, it was like a 3.5 hour ride. But to go to work for 8 hours and then ride another maybe 2.5 hours, because then there would be no traffic. You can cut, man. I mean, it would probably be like 3 hours home.
Okay.
So it's still a 12+ hour day. Just, gosh, that was horrible. Glad I don't have to do that anymore.
Things like that don't make sense. Like I understand people having like an hour commute for a job where it pays for everything and they can get a lot of things. Like they can have an RV, a boat, like things like that. They can go on vacations. It makes sense for a 12-hour day where you're working 9 hours. It takes you an hour to drive there, an hour home. It's 11 hours. That makes sense. But like, there's a lot of people who do it for a job that's like minimum wage, where they'll travel 2 hours, they'll get paid a minimum wage, travel another 2 hours, where they could have just gotten 2 jobs by where they live part-time, work less, travel less, and make more.
I see.
And a lot of people do that. Like I knew this guy who would travel from, I think it was Hollywood to Long Beach on train to get to work 20 hours a week. So like the price for him to get there and the time, it's not really worth it.
Right.
Like you can find a minimum wage job down the street from his house and he would make more money.
But in some careers, like you have to pay your dues.
Yeah,
like
but
you have
this is like a restaurant. You're not really going anywhere.
Yeah. Well, maybe he was trying to move up in that restaurant.
I mean, sure.
Right.
People can do that, but this guy definitely wasn't.
No. Yeah, I don't know. It's bizarre to me too, man. Like sometimes, well, I've known some people in my life. They used to commute from Victorville to Irvine.
Yeah.
And that's a 5 hour, well, not 5 hours. I would say that's a 3 hour, solid 3 hours on the road to go work 10 hours and then commute home another 2 hours and 45 minutes. So that's crazy, man. I don't know why they did that, you know.
Because
Eventually
maybe
they
they're
stopped.
just used to it.
Yeah, but that's so crazy, dude. Being on the road that long, gosh, I don't know. It's to me it's like a big waste of time.
Yeah, I used to have to drive a half hour in the mornings. For some reason, it was always busier coming home, so it was like 45 minutes on the way home. Being tired, like I swear I fell asleep a couple times. But like
While
I would
you were
wake up
driving?
because of the bump. Yeah.
Damn.
And I don't know how it doesn't happen more.
2 people?
Yeah.
Well, you know, just the other day we were driving up to LA and we saw this guy in a Tesla just pass the fuck out for 45 minutes. This guy was just driving. He was sleeping, holding onto the steering wheel a little bit. Kind of barely, you know, I think you're supposed to touch it a little bit. Otherwise, it turns off.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like you can't just let the steering wheel go. Like you got to be awake. It's like a safety system. And so this guy is just like, you know, laying back.
Even his seat was
It was like reclined, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's so funny.
He ended up on the news like right after, like a week after.
Yeah, I saw it on one of the YouTube videos. People posted it on social media.
Yeah.
It's so funny.
This one's interesting because we were just talking about it. What is the last dream you remember?
Were we just talking about dreams?
Well, I was talking about how, like, the afterlife concept is it could be like a dream. So there's good, bad, and
right.
blank.
So what is the last dream that you remember?
You know, I don't dream that much.
You don't?
Mm-mm. I can't even think about the last dream I had. I'm drawing a blank. I don't dream that much.
Interesting. See, I wonder why.
I think I wake up too much when I sleep. I'm always thirsty, so I usually wake up like 3 or 4 times through the night.
Really?
Yeah.
So you don't have like a solid 5 hours, 6 hours of sleep?
I may get 4 and then wake up, drink some water, and I could sleep the rest of the way, but I usually wake up. But I fall back asleep right away.
Yeah.
So I just get up, take a swig, close my eyes, and I'm out again.
Nice. That's so weird. Yeah, no, for me, I guess the last dream I remember. Well, okay, so I got a really fucked up one. You know, but this wasn't like recent, but it's one of the dreams that really, I don't know, for some reason it makes me question life. Okay. So this dream, I've had it when I was 6 years old, 7 years old. And we in Mexico, we used to live in a little town outside of a main city. So at this time, we probably did not have any lights. So no street lighting, no nothing, bro. It was just like the front
Moonlight?
porch light, moonlight. Dude, honestly, you could see with the moonlight. You can see in the dark. So the only lighting that I remember in that town was just the front porch light bulbs, just straight light bulbs, not lamps, nothing. You know, like the big lamps that we have now, motion sensor lights that we have. Nothing like that. And I remember one time having this dream where one of the ladies in that town was cooking, and I was walking by their house, and I looked into the house, and there was this she was putting this foot in a pot, and to me she was a witch, and so I freaked out. And I ran up a tree, and I got up on top of the tree, and she heard the scuffling, and she came out. when she came out, she was looking around, and I was pissing my pants, dude. In the dream, I can. It was so vivid, you know. Like right now, even just thinking about it gives me chills. Just that's how vivid it was, and I was like pissing my pants up in that branch. I'm like, shit, dude, this witch is gonna get me. So that's probably one of the craziest dreams I've ever had.
There are some dreams where you remember like feeling it afterwards. I had this one where I don't remember why it all happened, but I was sitting at home on the couch, and my dad came out and sat next to me, and all of a sudden, out of nowhere, he had a knife up and he stabbed me in the leg. And I woke up and I felt it. I felt it for the next couple of days, and I wouldn't go anywhere near my dad.
You felt like someone punched you?
I felt my leg hurt. It
Damn.
hurt, and I was like...
You were freaked out?
Yeah, I didn't go around him.
That's so funny, man. You know, now that you've mentioned that, this morning I woke up like that. Mm-hmm. But it was... I was dreaming about we were walking on the street, and then this guy bumped into me, and he said something, and you know, sometimes I say shit back. Like sometimes I won't keep my mouth shut. I'll say something, and when I said it, he kind of squared up and he like charged me, and I like Spartan kicked him. I just did that Spartan kick, hit him right on the chest. And I woke up because I hit my headboard. I hit my headboard. It was hilarious, man. Oh, man. I woke myself up from hitting the headboard. Man. That was pretty funny.
There's times that, like, I'll wake up, and I'll wonder why I waked up. And I'll go walk out my room, and I'll be like, wait, did I wake up because someone broke into my house? So I open my door, my fist, like, ready to go. And then I'll open it, and if I don't see anything right away, I'll just swing anyways. I'll just go. Ah!
Really? What if it's your dad's, like, or your...
That's my point. I would recognize them instantly. So if I saw something that I didn't recognize, I'm already on my way to defense.
Oh, man.
Okay, let's do another one.
Yeah, let's do one more question. Let's see what's going on here.
No.
All right, so... No, this was... I don't like this one. Okay, right here. Ooh, this is a pretty good one. Who is the most famous person you've ever met, Greg?
The most
besides yourself
I've ever met?
Yeah.
I haven't really met any famous people other than like standing in the line and shaking someone's hand. Like and who? Then like 2 seconds, hey, my name's this, your name's that.
Like who?
Like some bodybuilders, like Kai Green and...
Okay.
Remember when we walked? It was the end of the LA Fitness Expo, and we were kind of headed out, and then we saw who's the guy who won so many times in a row?
Phil Heath.
We saw Phil Heath, and we went walking over there, and we stood there for a second because we didn't want to be rude, and then we were being kicked out.
Mm-hmm.
And
then we saw Kai Green there.
Yeah.
He's also man, his brand is growing, man.
Is it?
Shout out to Dynamic Muscle. Huh. Kai Green is getting it done.
I don't follow that.
Interesting.
Anymore. I don't know anything about it.
He's got it made, man. He's got ebooks. He's got like a clothing line. He's doing pretty well for himself.
Interesting.
Yeah. Shout out to Mr. Kai Green.
You know, thinking back on it, I watch soccer a lot now. But when I was in the Boy Scouts when I was younger, we ended up going to practice with the LA Galaxy, and I could never remember the guy's name. All I remember is it was a famous guy with like the dreadlocks. And now looking back at it, like they advertise this guy still now.
Wow.
And I was like, that's him.
Nice.
Oh, what?
How old were you?
I don't know, Boy Scouts, so somewhere in between 1st and 5th grade. So I don't know what age that cool. is, like maybe 7 years old to 10.
Nice. It's pretty funny, man. Like now. Well, I actually got to take a break really quick. You want to do one of the laws to power as we mentioned in the last... Oh, we'll actually tell them about the conversation we had yesterday about this.
This is not it right here. What is that one?
I'll be right back really quick.
Let me pull one up. So we were just talking about some of the laws and just talking about how we think about how we can apply things in our life and if we agree or disagree with them. We don't live our life by this book or anything. I've actually not even read it, so these laws are brand new to me. Marco has read it, and so he said it's very interesting, so we said we might as well try and talk about them. So the first law is never outshine the master. And we kind of came up with, instead of like the master, it's more like a mentor or someone who knows more than you. So the first law is never outshine the master, and that's described as always make those above you feel comfortably superior. In your desire to please and impress them, do not go too far in displaying your talents, or you might accomplish the opposite. Inspire fear and insecurity. Make your masters appear more brilliant than they are, and you will attain the heights of power. So there's a couple keys to power. There's 4 of them. And it reads, everyone has insecurities. When you show yourself in the world and display your talents, you naturally, Marco's back, you naturally stir up all kinds of resentment, envy, and other manifestations in insecurity that is to be expected. We'll let Marco read the other 3.
What were you doing? The keys of power?
We read power? The description of the first law, and then we just did the first key of power.
Okay, so the next key to this power is, while you cannot spend your life worrying about the petty feelings of others with those above you, you must take a different approach. So what do you think that means, Greg? So I'll reread that one.
Okay.
While you cannot spend your life worrying about the petty feelings of others with those above you, you must take a different approach. So you must take a different approach to the people who are, managers, mentors, master.
Well, what I hear with that is that there can be pettiness from anyone, really. So you can take the pettiness. It's just like if I say that I'm better at you than something, you can say, sure, what do you need to compete for? And then you find out if they are better than you or not. If they are, then learn from them, and you can be better than them. So that may be what he's talking about, in the sense of you have to change your perspective with someone who's above you, because if they are better than you, then they don't have to be cocky about it. If they are cocky about it, it doesn't matter either way. They're still better than you. Mm-hmm. So you have to accept it sometimes.
Yeah, you gotta stay humble.
Yeah.
One of the next point on this, it is a deadly but common misconception to believe that by displaying and vaunting your gifts and talents, you are winning the master's affection. So basically, they say that it's a misconception, a deadly misconception, if you're cocky, you're a show off, basically.
Yeah, because it pulls in an emotion from someone that they can react in a negative way, that maybe someone doesn't want to learn, or that day you just don't care to learn, and you brush off someone who could have taught you so much. Or
have you ever experienced something like that, like seeing not necessarily a younger kid or somebody who has been newer, because you used to skate back in the day, right? Weren't there a lot of little show-offs in the skate ring?
No, I mean, there would be times where
you were
like to go around people, or you're trying to be stupid.
Yeah.
But I mean, not really. This wasn't like at the skate rink. This was like skateboarding, like at a Vans. I was gonna say Vans Sports Park, but it's Vans Skate Park. And I went and I was like, check this out, guys! I can do this sick trick. And I go, and I just stare someone down, and I thought it was a ramp, but it was just a right angle, just a drop off. So I'm going, I don't notice it because I'm being cocky, staring at the guy. And it's a drop off, and I just fall. I eat it, and I just slam onto the ground. Everyone's laughing at me. I'm like,
oh,
dang.
Crap.
Yeah, it was the cockiness that
How
got
did
me.
you feel, like, getting up, picking up your board? How did you feel?
I mean, I laughed it off, but it was pretty humiliating.
Yeah.
I was...
Dude, I would imagine, because... And it's... You're not talking about something, like low, right? Like,
I mean, it wasn't that bad. It was like this. But like,
oh, but you weren't expecting it, basically.
yeah, I wasn't looking at what I was doing. I was
right.
trying to be cocky, and I just fell.
That's so funny, man.
Yeah.
Well, do you want me to continue?
Yeah.
Yep. So I'll continue with the keys to power. This is the last bullet point. It reads like this: He may feign appreciation, but at this first opportunity, he will replace you with someone less intelligent, attractive, and threatening. So, I think basically...
I'll do the last one.
You'll do the last one.
Oh, you read the last one just now?
Yeah, that was the last one. So, if you want to reread it?
Yeah, I'll reread it. He may feign appreciation, but at the first opportunity, he will replace you with someone less intelligent, attractive, and threatening.
Well... Well, I don't have any experience with this one. I can just briefly gloss over it, but I don't have any experience with this one at all.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure where it was going, like how I was saying when you were gone, about how you've read the book and you understand what he's talking about a little bit more. I haven't read the book at all, and so
yeah,
I'm just reading this, and I may disagree with some of the stuff that's said here. But with that specific one, I don't necessarily understand where he's going with it. So it's a little bit harder to...
Yeah, you definitely must read the book so you can get a little bit more context on what he's saying. So we definitely recommend that. But basically, we just wanted to share this little excerpt of the laws of power, so you guys can get a little bit more of an understanding of how people are. Recently, I started listening to the audiobook of the laws of human nature, and boy, man, I'm learning a ton. They're showing you basically why we are the way we are. It's crazy, and so it gives you a big shift of perception of what life really is.
Interesting. All right. Well, we've been going for 52 minutes now. Do you have anything?
Not necessarily. We just again wanted to apologize for the inability of not recording yesterday, and hopefully you guys tune back in next week. We should be live. What was it?
For
Sunday?
Next week?
Yeah, Sunday, Monday.
It'd be Monday.
Okay, so we can probably check back Monday. We hope you guys tune back in, and hope you guys have a good weekend.
Yeah, have a good one. Sign out.